Alright.
Game na to?
Game na. So Sir Wolf, no, welcome here dito sa Rimshot Live Podcast. Thank you for giving your time, 'di ba? Lumipad pa kayo.
Hindi naman.
Nag-grab
lang.
Nag-grab lang. Pero
Nandito
Sir
na
Wolf,
ako.
saan mo ba kayo, 'di ba? You've been based in the US for the longest
I've been based
time.
in the US for the past 25 years already.
Okay.
Tagal na pala. So yeah, and I'm here in the Philippines now for the Wolfgang Reunion Tour. Kakatapos lang sa Cebu. And it was a great tour, great experience.
So ano sir, tell us about yourself. Ano bang pinagkakabala ni Wolf ngayon sa US, and ano bang music diyan? Ano ba yung lifestyle mo diyan?
Well, yung lifestyle ko simple lang, you know. Hindi naman ako, you know, I'm a single guy, so I don't really go out that much, you know. And I'll watch concerts every now and then. Yun yung lifestyle ko, and I live near the beach, so pag medyo, you know, anxious, medyo may anxiety, just go to the beach para mag-relax, you know, get some fresh air. And then I also have a band sa States, The Melodies. I have a band with Melody Del Mundo, dating Sugar Hiccup. So that's pretty much my life in the States. Nothing fancy, and you know, so this trip has been the longest that I've been here sa Philippines. So
Kailan ba kayo last time nandito?
last year, pero yung mga trips ko dati mga 2 weeks. Mga 2 weeks lang, you know, but this time around.
Ito major Wolfgang Reunion yung datingan
Yeah.
'di ba? 'Di ba?
So I decided to, you know, just stay here in the Philippines, enjoy it a little bit more kasi nakamiss din, you know.
Yeah. Ano sir, tell me more about your background sa music. Parang paano ba na-form yung sound nyo ngayon ng Wolfgang before, tsaka ano ba siya yung direction niya ngayon?
Well, my background in music is, you know, when I was a kid, I had piano lessons like every, I guess, normal kid, you know. Tapos from there, nung medyo teenager na ako, I wanted to play guitar. But then I found out later on I'm not equipped to play guitar. I'm only equipped to play guitar chords, but not solo guitar and stuff like that.
So may piano ano pala kayo?
Yeah, that's my first instrument, the piano. Tapos I went on to organ, and that actually helped me, you know, especially the organ playing, because you're playing all the how would you say, all the what do you call those things? Edit mo na lang to.
Yeah, all good.
But anyway, this is you know, you play the melody on the right hand, you play the chords on the left hand, you play the bass line on your left foot, and then you have a volume pedal on your right foot. So doon pa lang unknowingly na parang nahasa na yung katawan ko na multitasking. And so when I switched to drums, which was really by accident.
Paano accident?
Well, and I'll go into that story. But yun na nga, when I went to the drums, it was kind of easy for me to transition because I was already used to my brain using all 4 limbs, you know.
Piano style eh.
Yeah. So the accident that happened with me becoming a drummer. So my first band, it was called Hysteria, and like I said before, I wanted to be a guitar player, a guitarist, kasi syempre sikat yung
Rockstar
guitarista,
no?
Rockstar. Post ka dyan, diba? Syempre. But yun na nga, hindi ako marunong mag-solo. Pero nung time na yun, I graduated high school, my dad got me an electric guitar for graduation gift, no, Fender Squire. So pag sa States yun so pagbalik ko dito sa Manila, I formed a band with my friends, yung mga barkada ko na musicians din. And then at our first rehearsal, we ended up in the room and we were looking at each other. Lahat kami may dalang guitar case. So napansin namin, wala pala kaming drummer. We were looking, wala pala tayong drummer. Sino magda-drums ngayon? Paano? Wala tayong banda kung wala tayong drummer. So me naman, I kind of volunteered myself. It's like, well, I can carry a beat. I never played drums before that. As in never. Yeah, so yun. So I decided, well, not really decided, but
Abot ko lang yung yung inumin ko. Yeah, go ahead.
So anyway, yun nangyari na wala kaming drummer, so I decided na I can probably play a beat, but I never knew because I never played drums before. So I got my first drumsticks in JB Music nung time na yun in Park Square. And I ended up playing the drums for that practice rehearsal, and I never stopped ever since.
Kumbaga parang na-inlove lang kayo sa drums.
Yeah, and especially kasi when I started playing, it's like, uy, marunong pala ako. Syempre I am just copying what I see sa mga music videos, 'di ba? Especially with the hi-hat, yung cross na ganyan. So I just copied.
Ano yung tugtugan yun nun? Yung Hysteria?
Oh, Hysteria. Kung ano yung sikat nun, nung time na yun, late 80s yun eh. So Def Leppard, Whitesnake,
mga ganun type.
Guns N' Roses, the first Guns N' Roses album.
So interesting, yun pala yung kwento ng pagka-drums nyo.
Yeah, accident talaga. By accident talaga. So yun, from then on, ako yung naging drummer ng Hysteria. Tapos, when Hysteria dissolved, maybe 2 years later, Wolfgang na, And that's how
history na.
History.
Alam na nila yun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yung music nyo ngayon, sir, like yung the melodies, gano'ng katagal na yan?
Well, the Melodies was formed right after the pandemic.
Okay.
It was formed right before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, and then when the shutdown stopped, when everything was open again, then we reconvened and then started writing songs na.
Kumbaga, we can't stop playing,
No, we cannot talaga.
We
cannot. It's
how about sir? Your favorite genre? Siyempre, you're in a rock band, diba? Heavy music. Are you into any other kinds of music?
I'm into all kinds of music. Everything except for maybe mainstream country music. Like Shania Twain and that kind of music. I'm not. It's too. I don't know. It's a little too simple for me. Even the lyrics are kind of. I don't relate to the lyrics.
Or about lang, sir? An artist or a band na sa tingin nyo hindi alam ng karamihan pero pabogitan nyo?
Dami, man. I love Buena Vista Social Club. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're an Afro-Cuban.
Okay.
From the 1950s, no, and if you want to learn more about that band, it's such a very interesting history. Buena Vista Social Club. I love Seal, singer Seal.
Yeah.
Tears for Fears. Thievery Corporation is a trip hop. I love trip hop music.
Trip hop.
Trip hop is they call it chill out now. They call it chill out music now.
Ano ba, parang house club?
No. House kasi is a steady 4/4, right? Ugs.
Bar, chill lang. Pero
it's pretty much house music. It's like disco. It's like the four on the floor kind of thing. But thievery and trip hop, which was originated in Bristol in the UK. So Portishead, what other bands? Nightmares on Wax, Thievery Corporation. So what trip hop is that the beats that they use are funky. So that's the hip hop part. So it's like so it's very funky, very groovy kind of beats. But the music is trippy.
Interesting, parang coming from from a rock
rock
icon for me, sir. Parang hindi ko na-expect na may trip ko yung ganyan.
No, I mean I love classical music also,
Okay.
So it's whatever's satisfying to my ear, then I'm open to it because I'm very parang simple lang ako tao. If I don't like it, I won't like it. I'll try and find something I like in the music, but Kung wala talaga, wala talaga. But there's some music that I just hear right away and like, okay, I like that. You know.
Curious ako, sir. Outside music, we've been talking music for a while now. Parang outside music, may any hobbies, sports ba kayong trip? Ganun.
Well, I don't do sports because I don't want to be injured. Because if I get injured, I can't play drums. So I always wanted to learn how to skateboard. You know, I know how to skateboard, no, but
Risky, no?
it's very risky. It's the most riskiest thing for a
For a drummer.
not just for a drummer but for a musician. You know,
Mhm.
because we need our limbs or whatever, our fingers and feet. So I mean, I learned how to surf. You know, but I don't really surf in California because it's very challenging. You know, I'd rather surf here in La Union or something where it's chill lang. You know, pero aside from
Other
that,
hobbies. But that's
well,
outside music.
I mean,
hindi music.
I'm addicted to my PlayStation.
I mean, gamer, ano kayo?
Or not really a gamer. It's just Gran Turismo and FIFA. You know, because I'm a fan of car racing and I'm a fan of football. So I like to play those
Ano, anong
games.
dream car niya, sir? Kung sakaling
Dream
unli budget.
car,
Unli.
Well, my favorite car.
Ako may ginawa sa kotse.
Oh yeah. Well, this is gonna be weird, but my favorite car of all time is a very simple car. It's a 1978 or 1979 Ford Escort.
Ano siya, yung parang Mustang yung itsura niya eh.
Parang Mustang.
Box type yun.
Box type with either the square headlights or the quadruple circle. So dalawa each headlight has two round lights, no? But something about it, I mean, it's also a rally car during that time, during the late 70s, early 80s, yung kotse na yun was a rally car na rin. So I don't know, man. I like those cars when I was a kid. Like I don't know if you've heard of the Opel Manta.
Yeah, yung brand, yung Opel.
Yeah, the Opel. They have a model called the Manta, which was super nice. As in, super nice.
Sedan, ano pa rin?
Two-door eh.
Okay, cool.
Pero siya eh. Parang sports car talaga, yung sleek talaga yung design niya eh. And it's those cars of the late 70s, early 80s that I don't know,
Siyempre,
kinda
nag-resonate sa inyo ngayon.
Yeah, nagre-resonate sa
bagay. Kung only budget nga, medyo mahirap maganap niyan ngayon.
Yeah.
May mas late.
Especially here, but it's
sa States ba? Parang
sa States is
may
very
option pang makabili.
I mean, that's
Wala na talaga.
you have to buy it second hand, third hand, But I've seen those kinds of cars here in the Philippines because a lot of Pinoys, they like those cars din eh. So they keep them. It's either they restore them or they maintain them.
Yeah, parang nung isang buwan nga yan, nakakita ko ng ganun. Alam ko yung Ford
Escort.
Yun nga, yung 70s model, box type siya na parang Mustang. Akala mo unang tingin, akala mo Mustang siya eh. Pero hindi siya Mustang. Eh.
Right. Yeah, it's a nice car for me.
Okay, so yun to rin pala, no? Rock, outside rock, may trip hop, then some Ford Escort.
Ford Escort, Formula 1. I love Formula 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Ferrari ako.
Well, make up tayo pero
but Benz is doing well this season, so good for them. You know what I mean? But hopefully Ferrari has a good season na rin. And of course football. I'm a football fanatic. Yeah.
Curious lang din ako. Siyempre, you're in the States right now for some years now. Parang I just wanna know, ano yung mga alam mo or trip mong latest local bands ngayon here based in the Philippines? Maybe you can name some, drop some artists na trip nyo ngayon.
Yung trip ko ngayon right now is this band called Cyberband. They're a progressive rock band from Cagayan de Oro.
Mm-hmm.
Three-piece, very, as in really good, and their prog is more old school 70s prog rather than modern prog like a la Dream Theater. So they're more classic.
I'm into progressive and heavy music as well, pero di ko pa na.
I think you're gonna like Cyberband.
Nice,
so
nice.
Cyberband, and then of course one of my favorite bands in the Philippines is Coffee Break Island.
Coffee Break Island.
Yeah, they're reggae ska. You know,
Reggae again?
reggae and ska, reggae
Ah,
slash
okay,
ska,
okay. Anong tawag doon? Reggae ska.
reggae slash ska.
Okay.
Reggae is
Okay.
music, and then ska is different.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So ska is like Putriska. You know the band Putriska.
Hindi.
Oh my God, how old are you, dude? Anyway, so yeah, Coffee Break Island, reggae slash ska band, and their frontman and songwriter Paul Putian is one of my favorite musicians and songwriters. Ano pa? Black Wolf Gypsies. They're a nice hard rock band, but they're not new. They've been around for a while. And there are a lot of young bands out there that I have yet to discover.
Mhm.
You know, especially, I mean, when I say young, I mean Alpha. You know, Gen Alpha. So
Mm-mm.
hopefully there's because right now there's a lot of like any time before, there's always a lot of mainstream bands, you know, which is not
Mhm.
really my kind of thing. So
Okay.
I always look for the hard edged
Mhm.
raw rock kind of bands, you know, that, or even not, it doesn't have to be just rock. It can be any kind of genre, but there has to be an edge for me. Huh?
Mhm.
There has to be an edge. There has to be like a rock and roll attitude with any kind of music. If it's a jazz band, fine. You know, there can be a pretentious jazz band, and then there can be a badass jazz band. So I would
Gets, gets.
gravitate to the badass jazz band. You know, right?
At I wanna parang ito, biglang nagpop-up lang sa ano ko ngayon eh. This topic has been this topic has been around for a while and nag-trend din siya. Parang ano bang opinion nyo sa click tracks? Ako bigla ko naalala, ay oo nga pala.
Was this because of my post? Did you see my post?
Yeah, I saw it. So parang let's give it a shot. Parang
Sure.
what does Wolf...
I want to clarify, okay? I want to make it absolutely clear what I meant with that post. Apparently it went viral and then my friend, you know, told me that I kind of started a war between two sets of approaches with the click track. For me, a click track is a tool that drummers use, right? It can be used for anything. It can be used for practice. If you're playing to a backing track, then you'll need a click track so that sabay ka, di ba? That's fine. But for me, I think to be a drummer is that you practice with the click. You know, you practice with the metronome. You practice at least 1 hour a day. And then, but when it's time for live, if you're just playing with a band without a backing track with just other musicians, I don't think you need a click track going on in your headphones or whatever. If you have in-ear monitors, I used in-ear monitors for the Wolfgang tour. And what
No click tracks.
No click track. What? No, of course no click track. Someone,
Ano lang, monitoring lang talaga.
you know,
Monitoring
it was
lang.
funny after the first Wolfgang show in Manila. Three separate random people asked me
Mm.
if I was using a click in my in-ears, and it was such a strange question for me. Because it's just a strange question. It's like, no, I didn't use a click. It's a monitor so I can hear everybody else, but there's no click. So I kind of got intrigued.
After the show to.
This is after the show, yeah, because people noticed that I was wearing in-ears, no?
Kasi baka pwedeng napansin nilang, teka, parang plakado masyado yun baka, parang walang,
Well, I mean,
parang hindi bumagal or bumilis
yeah,
yun.
yeah. But the thing is, if you're gonna think that I'm cheating, then then why shouldn't you think instead that maybe Wolfgang practices a lot? That's why we're tight.
Yun na yung term eh.
Yeah.
Tight eh.
Tight.
Diba? Diba?
You know, it's not. So my process is, if I'm practicing on my own with the drums, I'm gonna use a click to practice. When it's time for rehearsal with the other musicians in the band, no click. I'm the click. I am the click. I am the metronome. You're the drummer. You're the click. You're the metronome. Okay. So that's my philosophy. Now, if you think differently, fine. You know, but that's my thing. It's like, especially with rock music, there's some bands that I've discovered through word of mouth that they want to sound like exactly like the record. like the recording. Okay, so for me, I don't know if it's I'm getting too old for this, if I'm too old school, but if you're gonna be playing rock music, you have to be there on your own. You know, there was a live album that Van Halen put out in the early 80s. It was called Live Without a Net. And when you say live without a net, walang sasalo sa'yo. There's no net. So kung anong mangyayari sa concert na yan, yun ang mangyayari. Kung may mali, edi may mali. Tao ka lang naman eh. Pero if it's too perfect, that's not rock music anymore to me. I don't consider that rock music. I consider that pop music. You know, you can label your music all you want, rock, rock, rock. But if you're not willing to go out there and then be on the edge of a mountain for let's say, I mean, for our set on the tour would reach almost 3 hours. In that whole 3 hours, the whole band Wolfgang is on the edge of a cliff. One mistake could just derail the whole thing. But that's the beauty of rock and roll. There's that part na baka magkamali tayo at mawawasak tong buong ano na to, pero we have to concentrate and really and rehearse. Rehearsal is so important for a band, so that when you get on stage, you're like autopilot and your confidence is there. Because the confidence for a musician or even a sports athlete is very important, because your performance depends on your confidence, on your self-confidence. Now, if I'm playing like a song and like a big drum roll is coming up, and I don't have the confidence to do that roll, it's either I'm not going to do the roll anyway, or I might make a mistake. So I have to have that self-confidence to perform and to execute whatever it is that I am supposed to. So that's my opinion on click tracks. The drummers are the click track of the band. So you don't need another one. You don't need an extra guy, an extra click, click, click on your ear to guide you. You are the guide for everybody else.
At least we have di naman sa debate, di ba? Parang we have our own opinion sa matter.
Sure. No, but what really got me...
But I get your point. I mean, I'm coming from a very... ibang... Me, I always play not for just videos, covers, even sa live. But I see the point where you're coming from. Kasi before this, yan naman ang style natin lahat eh. Parang kahit ako,
I mean,
hindi naman ako lumaki ng may click eh.
This is the first time I've used in-ear monitors, and I didn't even think of putting a click in. I never thought of it. And it's like, so anyway, yeah. But another thing that I found out, so there's some drummers are very dependent on the click track, that when they don't use the click track, their playing is not consistent. It's not a steady whatever. It's not a steady beat. It slows down, speeds up, whatever. So that's what I have an issue with. I have no issue with any other thing but that. Now, if you're the drummer and you're dependent on a click like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, then you shouldn't be a drummer. You shouldn't be a drummer. You shouldn't call yourself a drummer, I think, in my opinion. Because, like I said, we're going back again that the drummer is the click of the band. You practice with the click and then you become,
How about sir sa kung sa recording situation, studio situation, what are your thoughts on sa click pa rin?
Well, so I did sessions for Wolfgang because we will be re-releasing our second album, sa Manila, next year. So I did the drum tracks again, and I was expecting to use a click, But Manuel said, you don't need a click, you just play, And syempre, there's a company, the guitars and the bass are playing with me. So I was kind of shocked that Manuel trusted me enough to say, you don't need a click, man, just play, And then that gave me the confidence.
Tapos nag-record nyo to,
no
very
click.
recent?
Yeah, very recent. Maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago.
Okay.
And I didn't use a click at all, and it came out well. No slowing down, no speeding up. I was there in the pocket, and I was very proud of myself. And it was Manuel who gave me that self confidence, because I was like, I was expecting to use a click,
Saan niyo po ito nag-record ulit? Sorry, saan po? Manuel?
Bea Studio.
Again, sorry?
Sa studio ni Bea.
Okay.
South Bay.
Okay.
South Bay Studios. So yeah, but then but then last week I had also a reunion with my first band, Hysteria, and we recorded a song. It was already pre-recorded by the keyboardist Gino Cruz. So when I recorded the drums, I needed a click. Kasi first of all, hindi ko kabisado yung kanta. Second of all, it's already pre-recorded. So it has to be
on time.
On time.
I mean, not on time. Parang
no, there.
Kasi pre-recorded
Yeah,
na ganyan
yeah.
yung mga guitars and kumbaga drums lang hinihintay. Parang
Yeah. So there, that's a perfect example of a drummer adapting to the situation. And I'm a huge follower of the philosophy of Bruce Lee. Well, Bruce Lee, if you know Bruce Lee, for the people who don't know Bruce Lee, please Google him, because his philosophy is very he's a martial artist. He is the OG MMA mixed martial artist, Bruce Lee. And his philosophy, is like be like water. So what does that mean? It's very, water will take the shape of anything that it goes into. If it goes into your shoe, it will take the shape of your shoe. If it goes into the bottle, it goes to the shape of the bottle, right? That's what water is. So his philosophy is like, be like water. Wherever you are, whatever situation you are in, you try your best to adapt. Don't resist it, because if you resist, then you're the loser. You will lose. Whatever the situation is that you don't adapt to, you will lose. So be as adaptable as possible. So like in the Wolfgang sessions, I didn't need to use a click. In the Hysteria sessions, I used a click. So like I said, like what Bruce Lee taught before, it's like, be like water. And then of course you're practicing with yourself, and of course when you listen to more music, more different kinds of music, then you just enrich yourself as a drummer.
Nice. Ano lang sir, last question na lang. Ano ang future ni Wolf and the Wolfgang? And as a solo artist, your music, what's the future of what's the future of Sir Wolf?
Sure. Well, I'm very fortunate that Wolfgang has done this reunion tour, and it's like it's a stepping point for the future, which is, I'm very grateful to get another chance at doing this, and all of that hard work that we did, 25-30 years ago, is still giving us opportunities, until now. And the future, I can't tell what the future is. I can only say what I hope the future will bring is more tours with Wolfgang, more creativity with the melodies, and just to be,
basically madami pa mangyayari, tingnan lang namin.
Oh yeah,
may mangyayari pa
may
talaga.
may mangyayari, may mga plano, and
Nice.
hopefully everyone is healthy, and so that we can fulfill these new dreams. Yeah.
So yun po sir, thank you so much for being here. This is our Rimshot Live Podcast, and abangan namin yan, yung future nyo.
Okay,
abangan
thank
namin
you.
lahat yan.
Thank you
sir.
very much. Thank you very much.